Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking from up front here. Y'all just sit on back and relax.
You can be my wingman anytime.
There's someone on the wing. Something.
We're winging it, Jerry.
Wing it?
Wing it.
We can't all just wing it.
You gotta have a wingman.
Welcome to the Wingmen, a podcast with James Clemens Jets Sports squarely in the crosshairs, with your hosts Captain Kirk Pierce, Coach Johnny Lone Star Johnson, and Coach Brad Homebrew Kimbrew.
Let's kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
Hold on to your butts.
Don't go away. The Wingmen will be right back.
At Walk-On Sports Bistro, our love for the game, community, and heart of a walk-on make you feel like family the moment you walk in. Wings, shrimp, and burgers made from scratch, wall-to-wall TVs, and signature drinks. Founded by two LSU walk-ons, Walk-On Sports Bistro brings the cuisine, the culture, and the community to life. Always fun, never forced, and our doors are open to anyone. Walk-On Sports Bistro, 8368 Highway 72 West in Madison. Walk-On Sports Bistro.
If you're looking to make your business stand out, save yourself some time and make Apparel Lab in Madison your first call. Apparel Lab will help you grow your brand with custom t-shirts and hoodies using their unique direct-to-garment printing. Laser engraving can put your design on mugs and tumblers. Plus, they can help with custom-designed hats, stickers, banners, signs, decals, and much more. Apparel Lab. Call 344-4656 or visit them online at apparellab.inc and on Facebook and Instagram. Located in the Madison Mall Shopping Center on Old Madison Pike. Apparel Lab.
Are pests invading your home or business? Mosquitoes embedded on your property? Maybe excessive crawl space moisture has attracted unwanted visitors. Then call RedHawk Pest Control, offering residential and commercial pest control, mosquito and brown recluse management, stinging insect control, foundation vents, and many other services to North Alabama and Southern Tennessee. RedHawk aims to be more than just a service provider. They want to build a long-term relationship with each customer. Call RedHawk Pest Control at 256-975-8817. Visit them on Facebook or online at redhawkpestcontrol.com.
Remember the days when you had that one mechanic you could count on time after time? At Madison Automotive, they believe that the key is building lasting relationships with their customers. Their experienced and certified technicians are passionate about providing high-quality services with honest communication and attention to detail. From routine maintenance to major repairs, Madison Automotive uses top-quality parts and state-of-the-art equipment to ensure your car receives the best care possible. Located at 9075 Madison Boulevard, call 256-772-0760. Madison Automotive.
Whether you're an experienced golfer or a total beginner, Madison Golf Center has the largest, most up-to-date practice range in North Alabama, including a complete teaching center with the best and most experienced instructional staff available at your convenience. Madison Golf Center features the most complete driving range facility around, with a large grass tee area allowing for 100 hitting stations a day with a 14-day rotation. Open every day year-round and located at 401 Lime Quarry Road, between Walt Triana and Hughes Road. Madison Golf Center.
Ready to show off your film IQ? Ready to show it off during James Clemens football? Maybe it sounds like trying to mix oil and water, but hey, we're just trying to have a little fun. Listen for our in-flight movie quote during James Clemens football coverage on PAS Plus. We'll give you a line to listen for during some point in our play-by-play coverage, and when you hear it, text your name and the movie it's from to 434-1-PAS. That's 434-1727, and you could win a $10 credit from Honest Coffee Roasters in Madison. The in-flight movie quote from Honest Coffee Roasters and PAS Plus.
You're flying with the Wingmen on PAS Plus.
What's up, Jet Nation? It's time now for the Wingmen podcast live from Walk-On Sports Bistro on Highway 72 in Madison. This is your one-stop shop for all things James Clemens Jets, where we deep dive into the world of athletics of our favorite high school. We break down the games, analyze the plays, and interview the players and coaches who tend to make it all happen. We also just like to have a little bit of fun. So buckle up, Jets fans. It's time to take flight. Good evening, everyone. Once again, I'm Kirk Pierce, otherwise known as the Captain. Yeah, see, I look at Tim. One day we're going to get this lined up. Here we go. Also joining me, as always, head coach for James Clemens Baseball, Johnny Lone Star Johnson.
I've been looking for you, Lone Star.
We got our producer extraordinaire, Mr. Tim Oz Lambert.
I am Oz.
our chief statistician, Carson Stone Cold Stretch Austin.
Stretch!
Oh, I left somebody out.
Because he's not here.
Because he's not here.
It's finally not me.
But you know what? We'll have to do it anyway because his little statement or the little tag that you got makes so much sense tonight. So missing tonight from the table, head coach for James Clemens softball, Brad Homebrew Kimbrew.
My homebrew sneaks up on you.
Yeah, he ain't sneaking up on us tonight.
Well, I figured mine was the most appropriate because it says I've been looking for you, Lone Star, and I've been out more than anybody.
Yeah, that's true. No, hey, welcome back, man. I know we haven't seen each other for a week. We didn't broadcast the game Friday night down in Homewood, which unfortunately ended up in a final regular season game loss for James Clemens.
It did.
You know,
and a good squad that we faced, and we had 4 or 5 guys that we held out, kind of getting healthy for the playoffs. So
yeah,
and Homewood's another top 10 6A team that we faced.
Yeah, so you've got the Gardendale, the Spain Park, and Homewood, and we'll have Coach Chad McGehee on here in just a little bit. But if you go back 13 episodes ago, because this is our 13th episode,
lucky number 13,
and we'll talk to him. But if you remember back 13 episodes ago, 13 weeks ago, if you will.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know it.
13 weeks,
and we kind of talked to him about that in the 6A, and I think that was one of his intents when he scheduled these games to get them ready for playoffs.
Prepare yourself for the playoffs, and and seeing Central Phoenix City and trying to see the best competition you can see instead of just getting some cream puff that's really not preparing you.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really do anything except try to solidify some of the plays. But I think we've done a really good job offensively is kind of getting some of those plays going. I think we've got a decent little game plan, and we'll talk to Coach about that and what the attitude is right now going in 2 days into practice this week.
When it's funny, and we can talk to him about this too, we talked about the pods and the rotation and finally not going to Birmingham like we always go to.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's great, but now you're biting off a third-place Central Phoenix City, right? Like Auburn, Opelika, and Central Phoenix City. I mean, it's not like that's a bunch of easy ball clubs to face either. So.
No, and so what region do you want? Is where it ends up being, for North Alabama. So, we'll get into some of that. It is our election night podcast. Of course, the presidential election taking place.
Is that happening today?
It is. I don't know if you knew that.
I lost 2 hours of my day standing in line.
You and me both.
But I got a sticker.
I did. I got a sticker. It's out in the truck. I tend to save mine. I don't put it on, because I went back home. So what am I going to do? Show it to my son? Look, I tell him I
proud,
voted.
Son, I voted.
That's exactly right. So, if y'all, and everybody I'm sure is glued to the TV watching these election results come in.
You don't think they're listening to us?
Well, they can at the same time. They turn, whatever their flavor of choice cast on the TV, and they can listen to us as they just watch numbers. That's really all you're doing.
Is there
watching
a neutral?
Numbers.
Is there a neutral out there anywhere to watch?
No.
It's like non-existent.
I don't think it's I don't think it's existent. And so you look at those others, the major players like the CNNs and Foxes, and I think that they try to come across as being neutral, but you can tell they're not. Neither one of them. So, but I digress a little bit. So again, sitting here at Walk On Sports Bistro, and we're going to have a packed podcast tonight.
We got a bunch of people tonight.
We do, and since Brad's gone, we're
trying to replace him by using a bunch of people. Is that what you're?
I guess that's what Tim had in mind when he, our producer extraordinaire, put this together. And but one thing we're looking for is our top flight winner. And when she comes in, we've been trying to get her.
We've been trying to get her for a while.
For a couple of weeks.
I'm excited she's here.
She
finally decided. She finally agreed to come because Kimberly wasn't going to be here.
That's what I heard.
I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell her that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want Kimberly to hear it.
And
actually, I already told him that on the ride over. I said, why she agreed to come is because you're not here.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's exactly.
She was kind of a late commitment. So
she had to wait to see if Brad was coming.
Okay. That's why I went ahead and got the other one. So
that's why we got a little bit of a full house.
Yeah.
But in all fairness to her, we've been trying for a month.
Yes, we have been trying for a month to get her, and she'll be here tonight.
Yeah.
So, well, I tell you what we want to do, since we do have a full house tonight, and we're in our first segment, the takeoff, and normally, we kind of wait a little. we started off the podcast doing the top fives early in the podcast, and then slowly over the course of the past several weeks, we've kind of drifted into later on segments and stuff like that because we had a lot of guests and wanted to get them on here early. But you know what? I feel like we just need to go ahead and get the top five out of the way. So the top five. Here's the catch. I tried to go into AI and asked it to put together a little presidential AI top five, and
AI said no.
It argued with me. It argued with me a little bit, and it basically told me that it is not wanting to make jokes about the presidential election.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody else is.
That's what I said. I was like, but it's AI. So
we talked about somebody being neutral, not having a newscast. AI, I guess, is going to be neutral.
Yeah, I guess so.
At
least
don't know. In this case.
So what I decided to do.
Or maybe it was afraid because we're in Alabama, it wanted you to make fun of just one side.
I think that's probably what it was. So I think it was afraid I was going to. So what I've done is I've kind of twisted it a little bit. And these are the AI's top 5 funny taunts for the presidential victor to the loser. So are we ready?
We're ready.
Top 5. Here we go.
Number 5.
So the top 5 presidential taunts for the winner to the loser. You know, they say practice makes perfect, but maybe you should try that sometime.
Wow. Practice a little more.
Practice a little bit more. Practicing your speech might be. Anyway, all right, here we go.
Number 4.
Number 4. I'm not sure what your strategy was, but it didn't seem to work out so well.
Just calling it like you see it.
Just call it right out. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's number 4.
Number 3.
So number 3, did you bring your A game or did you leave it at home?
You said that before the game or after?
That's a great question.
Is that smack talk before the game?
Did you bring your A game or did you leave it at home? I don't know. That's a good question. You should pass
maybe it's looking back and saying, well, is that the best you could do?
Is that the best you could do?
It could be that way too.
Yeah. So here we go. Number 2.
Number 2.
I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feelings? I didn't mean to outplay you so badly. I didn't mean to get so many more electoral votes than you did.
See? You made it political.
I did.
That's on you. That's on you.
Number 1.
And the number 1, it even says up here, it's always important to maintain good sportsmanship, though.
It's like a warning.
It's a warning.
It's a warning.
It's an AI.
It gave me a warning. So here's number 1. Well, you can always say you went up against the champ.
Oh, okay.
Dang, wow.
That is our AI top 5 taunts for the presidential election. I kind of took it and kind of ran with it. We're going to take a first break, and I want to remind you can follow JC Wingmen on Threads, Instagram, and X, and always look for the Wingmen on Facebook. We'll keep you posted on scores via Score Stream, always each and every week, and on Friday nights when we have our broadcast, our football game, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. Hey, let's take our first break. You're flying high with the Wingmen on PAS+.
Go to your Amazon Echo device and say, Alexa, open PAS Plus, and hear the Wingmen along with coverage of James Clemens football in crystal clear quality all season long. The Wingmen will be back after this.
We know you want to look good. Chopping Blades Barbershop knows it too, and they're passionate about making their clients look great. Men, women, kids, doesn't matter. You can just walk on in their location at 7985 Highway 72 Suite 2 in Madison, or call 256-325-3230. Check out Chopping Blades on Facebook too. Chopping Blades Barbershop.
Local sports are brought to you in part by Limestone County Commission Chairman Colin Daly. Visit the County Commission page at limestonecounty-al.gov to keep up with what's going on in the county and find out what ranks us in the top 5% in the state. You can also call Colin at 256-233-6400 or on his cell phone at 256-800-4544.
At Walk-On Sports Bistro, our love for the game, community, and heart of a walk-on make you feel like family the moment you walk in. Wings, shrimp, and burgers made from scratch, wall-to-wall TVs, and signature drinks. Founded by 2 LSU walk-ons, Walk-On Sports Bistro brings the cuisine, the culture, and the community to life. Always fun, never forced, and our doors are open to anyone. Walk-On Sports Bistro, 8368 Highway 72 West in Madison. Walk-On Sports Bistro.
You can't spell Wingmen without the letters W-I-N, and the Wingmen podcast has plenty of ways to win.
Here's one. The RedHawk Top Flight Award. Nominate a student, teacher, administrator, or anyone from the James Clemens family for a job well done. We'll give away a gift card from Walk-On Sports Bistro on each show, and at the end of the football season, we'll draw from those names for a year of service from RedHawk Pest Control, the RedHawk Top Flight Award. Get your entries in today at jcwingmen.net. From RedHawk Pest Control, Walk-On Sports Bistro, and the Wingmen Podcast. We're back with more of the Wingmen on PAS Plus.
Welcome back to the Wingmen Podcast right here on PAS Plus. We are live at Walk On Sports Bistro on Highway 72 in Madison. It is a full house pretty much here at Walk-Ons tonight. There's a lot of people.
I was not
here.
expecting this. I figured with the election and everything else going on that it might be a little thin, but
I hear
there's quite a few people.
I think people here that
our crowd is a little thin tonight.
A little bit.
Or with us.
Yeah, but I mean, I think people are, they're catching on. If they come on Tuesday nights, they get entertained.
Is that what you call this?
Are you not entertained? That is not the movie quote of the week.
Yeah.
So listen, I want to remind you, you can listen for the James Clemens Coaches Show every Wednesday morning at 11:05 on 1080 AM WKAC. We'll talk to Coach Chad McGehee and get the inside scoop on the Jets. And if you miss it, you can go to jcwingmen.net for the link. But you know what? Since we got him here, let's just go ahead and do,
our own version.
Our own little inside scoop on the Jets from Coach Chad McGehee. Coach McGehee, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I see you.
He's doing real good. He's got that Cajun press.
Cajun press. I didn't get to finish.
Did I steer you wrong on that?
No, it's really, really good. Yeah, really good.
One of my favorites is the Cajun press. So, this is episode 13 of the podcast. Mm-hmm. So 13 weeks ago, you were sitting right there.
Yeah.
And we were talking about right before the season started and a couple of things we discussed. Obviously, we talked about, the 6A schools that you put on the schedule and how, went through that and the reasoning behind that. And we also talked about the playoffs. And one of the statements that you made that night was, yeah, it's the pods and all of that, but you know what? We got to get to that point. And here we are. It's the week of the first round of the playoffs. We get to host at home, Central Phoenix City. And so how's practice been these past 2 days?
I mean, I think
right off the bat.
I think our kids, practice-wise, has been really good. The message for us, obviously, one of our goals was winning the region championship. It's been a little while since I've been on here.
Yeah.
Comes down. We lost 2 games in the bottom of the ninth, to put it in Coach Johnson's terms. We lose one, they go for 2, and at the end of the game, and certainly disappointing.
1.5 seconds left.
1.5 seconds left.
That means less than 5 seconds total between the 2 games.
And then, we lost the region championship game, which, that's what a region championship game should be.
Yeah, no, I agree.
2 great teams going at it. They're, undefeated, 8-0. And it's always kind of come down to James Clemens and Austin. And I think the consistency there in the staff and the program and has lent itself to those 2 teams playing, and obviously good players to help. And just had a heavyweight fight there that we came up on the short end at the end of the game. I will say I am told my kids I'm so proud of the way they responded that Monday to come back out, because after 2 losses like that, it's kind of easy to abandon ship, and we didn't win the region championship, and but coming back, we have to go take care of business, and we have to get on a bus, and we have to drive over there, and we have to do these things to give ourselves the opportunity to be the 2 seed, just because of the way the region stacked up. Super proud of our kids for the way they responded and the way they practiced that week, and really executed really well at Albertville and took care of business like we should have.
Well, we talked about that going into that week on the podcast. That's a trap, right? That week, are they going to let down because of the 2
scared to death
the types of games and how they were lost, going into an opponent that you should beat? Are they going to let up and just be or are they going to come I got something to prove this week? And you're right, they showed up.
They responded. They responded well in practice, and just having to sit them down and, like, this is where we are now. This is our reality. And in life, you sometimes don't reach your goals, so you have to reset your goals.
Right.
And you have to redirect your focus. And so now our focus is on, we want to host a playoff game. We have to go take care of this. As disappointing as it is not to win the region championship for their second straight year, and for the seniors to walk out of here with 3 of them. But, I was really, really pleased with our kids to go and execute that way. And, I mean, that Albertville team for the first half has given a lot of people in the region fits. I mean, it was 7-6 at Bob Jones at the halftime. Like, those kids play hard and it's always hard when they have nothing to lose because you don't know what they're going to pull out of the bag.
Right.
So, I was really, really happy with our kids. But, proud of our kids and proud of our coaches for giving us the opportunity to host a playoff game here, and for Central Phoenix City to have to drive 4 hours to come up here to play.
Instead of you having to make a 4-hour trip.
Instead of us having to drive 4 hours. And I always think, hosting and is just a special thing for our community and our school.
Oh, yeah.
To be here and represent Madison in that light.
Yeah. You can see that, too, with these seniors and just how they have played all year long. They've left it pretty much on the field each and every game. I mean, like we just talked about with the Sparkman and with, Austin, it was, total of, was it even 5 seconds?
Oh, yeah.
Worth of
3 games, I think 14 points, or 2 games, 14, 3 games, 14 points.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
It is.
To take, Spain Park that just finished the season 10-0.
Yeah.
Who was a 7A, caliber program to, I still think if we get the onside kick there at half, we're fixing to win that game by 2 scores.
Yeah.
And we sat here and said, why do we schedule these non-region opponents? It's for this week, because we told our kids there's no kid on Central Phoenix City's offensive line that's less than 325. They're absolutely enormous, but we haven't seen anybody that's not that.
Yeah.
From Gardendale to Spain
Austin.
Park to Austin, like everybody's a lot is bigger than us, and they got 4 stars and we don't, and so this is why we do these things. And my message to the team this morning is, when we got done with practice, is, we're a really good football team and have proven to be that. There's 4 or 5 plays that we need to get to go our way. And if they do, then we're going to be successful and we can play with anybody in the state. But, if we don't show up, then, it's going to be a tough night.
Sure.
Well, and I think you and I have had this conversation off air before, but by having those games that are down to 1 or 2 plays, like being able as a coach, we always preach attention to detail, little things matter, all those things. You lose sight of those in a game where it's a blowout or whether it's lose or win. But when you lose and it's painful like that, or you win one and it's painful for the other team on 1 or 2 plays, like it adds fuel to our coaching fire, I guess, to go, look, I'm telling you, if we play catch, this play and this play happens, we're in a state championship game.
Yeah.
If we make this tackle or misread on this, it's a difference in a game, 1 or 2 plays. And I just think that as a coach, there is benefits to those games, even though they hurt so bad sometimes, to head into now the playoffs. Like, we've got to pay attention to this. Remember back in week whatever when this happened? This is why it's important. So there's got to be some fuel there for you as a coaching staff, even though the pain was there in those tight games.
Well, there's always growth in pain. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Like, even it's growing pains. And, you've got to learn from those mistakes. And, our message is, maybe it was a lack of focus or a lapse in focus in practice during that week or in meetings or film that led to those 4 or 5 plays.
Or a dumb penalty.
Or like a dumb penalty, which we have been a prone to do. That can't happen.
Right.
And you can't have selfish penalties in a game like this.
Stuff we can control.
Things that we can control that you can't do. And in order to be successful, and like we're going to have to, those 4 or 5 plays are going to have to swing our way and get some momentum going into this game.
Mm-hmm.
But we have grown from those things, and hopefully we can overcome those things. This Friday.
And Phoenix City's not your everyday 3 seed.
Well, the
right?
defending state champions come to Madison City, and they've got a few commitments to some pretty significant programs, and they got some 4 or 5 stars. But I've been doing this long enough,
those guys
as underdogs and guys that are no stars, like that are great teams and not great individuals or great athletes, that you can overcome that. And the message has been like, nobody believes in you. Nobody's gonna pick you, but you got an opportunity to do something special here that you're going to remember the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And if you want to show up and you want to do these things, then we can give them a run, and we can hang around to the fourth quarter. We can be in it and give ourselves a chance to win. And if you want to do that. The coaching staff, we prepared like we always do, and have dove into it and have really poured into it and spent some late nights on film and just making sure that we're going to give everything that we've got and pull anything out of the bag that we have that we can utilize. And but our region, there's no secret about it, and the message was to the kids. It has been since 2019 since our 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed has even won a playoff game. That's 5 years.
Yeah.
But that North Alabama has not won a 7A playoff game.
Wow.
And
I didn't either.
Yep. 2019, JC was the last one to do it.
Really?
And
because we played you at Hoover in the next round.
That's
correct?
right.
When you were defensive.
When I was in Hoover.
Yeah.
And
wait a minute. Did y'all came up for that? Did y'all?
We did come up there.
Yeah, that was
the coldest game I've ever been a part of.
Was that Ashford at quarterback?
Yeah,
yes, that was Robbie Ashford.
Overtime.
We had Robbie Ashford, Will Reichard, and George Pickens, and that crew.
By the way, Pickens is playing in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Reichard's in Minnesota.
And Robbie's at South
Carolina.
Yep.
And very cold night, but what a great game.
I wasn't cold. We
so
were
that
up
was
at the
the
press
last
box.
time, though.
That was it.
Won a game.
That was it. And to do something like that, they've got an opportunity. We talk about we spend so much time on culture and mindset and off season and just pouring into legacy and how you want to be remembered and what's your legacy and the standards and the culture and the things that we want to do. And here's your opportunity to leave a legacy, because this is something people will talk about for a long time. This is something that you will talk about when you're 48 years old, like
Absolutely.
I am.
On a podcast
and
somewhere.
you on a podcast somewhere that you in 1994 went to, to beat Etowah High School and Carnell Williams and or Ed Sissom, Ed Sissom and Freddie Kitchens and Todrick Malone.
Goodness.
But I mean, it's that opportunity. I said, but man, I played collegiately. And I've been around some NFL guys. It always goes back to high school, like the camaraderie, and like it always goes back to the days in high school and when they did X, Y, and Z for those guys. And these guys will have an opportunity 20, 30 years down the road to still talk about it. And hey, and like I said, we can get through this one. Anything's possible, because the second round, who knows?
Well, and I just feel like JC's in a unique situation because we're such a new school. Like for the kids that came through 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they're only 13 years of the school. They didn't grow up wanting to be Jets. They didn't grow up having anything to look at to. We're starting to get to that group that they've been in this 13 years now, so some of them have been kindergarten through.
They have grown up in the system.
So you're finally getting that, I feel like, that culture of I'm going to be a Jet one day.
Yeah.
And you're right. If they go out and do what they can do and win a game, that sets the tone for the first grader that's going to be a Jet or that's at the game Friday night. I just think we as coaches have a unique opportunity to finally get some of these kids that have grown up wanting to be a James Clemens Jet versus not even knowing what that is.
Yep.
It's a cool time to be a part of this and build something.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think the majority of our seniors have grown up together, and I've got pictures that have been sent to me from them playing together, Pee Wee on up.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get our good share of move-ins here just because of the area that we're in, that join in, and you know, it's kind of a brotherhood, and it's obviously a cool time to see the culture of the community finally coming where you've got some tradition. And I mean, we've been successful for many years before Coach McGehee.
Yeah.
You know, Coach Waldrop was successful here and establishing that baseline, and that's the standard. And I think that's why, you know, our kids want to win region championships and to maintain the legacy that has been laid before them.
So when you think about, you know, 13 weeks ago, we spent a lot of time talking about the seniors, and we've had several of them on the podcast over the past couple of weeks. But as the season has progressed, there have been a few players, offensively and defensively, that are underclassmen when you start looking at your sophomores and juniors.
Yeah.
Any of them standing out to you? Because I can throw out some names if you want, but for you as the head coach, I mean, is there anybody in particular that is, or a group of guys that have just stepped in when they needed to?
You were talking about our underclassmen, not our seniors.
Not your seniors, because we know the seniors.
The seniors have played
a lot of time on them.
Yeah. But your.
Well, I mean, obviously MJ Gideon, you jumps off the page.
Right.
And, you know, I tell Mario in the office every day, I'm like, what's it like to have your son's college paid for? And he's
he's already getting
20. He's graduating 2 years from now. He's already got offers. Special talent, young man, and I mean, I think that Mason Rose, who is a junior that, you know, played a lot for us at corner, has done a really good job. Yeah. And Christian Wyatt as safety.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, we've got some young linebackers that have gotten some more time, and Eric Young and Nathan Holmes and Caleb Pryor that have stepped in and been able to play. Heck, man, I mean, we had to go to Homewood last year with a freshman right guard because one of our old linemen had a death in the family and had to go out of town, and we played a freshman, and he was the IHOP pancake player of the week. He had the most pancakes.
Good for him.
And played really, really well. Played like a veteran, and part of that's, you know, Coach Lynch in the ninth grade and their staff and the development and keeping the same system. And he just plugged and played.
Yeah.
Brought him up as a ninth grader and plugged in there and played and did a really great job. But I tell you what, you know, the other guy, just talking about up front, like Tank Ezel has been man, he is a good football player and plays so hard.
Yeah.
And you know, if you rock the name Tank, you better be a good player.
Right.
And if your parents are putting it on the back of their jersey when you're sitting in the stands, you don't want to disappoint them either.
Yes, and he has been outstanding for us and plays so hard. Such a great kid and unbelievable family. And then James Hollins, when the coaches meet pregame and they are talking about how hard number 41 plays, man, he just pours his heart and soul and just plays so hard every game. He is so relentless, and he's a junior and has stepped in. I mean, he started out as a linebacker, and unfortunately, we lost
two guys, right?
We lost Jaden Young to an ACL. And then immediately we lost Hopkins to an ACL in the same position and moved James to that position. And he is just, has progressed and just plays so extremely hard.
His motor runs constantly.
He's going to mess some things up just because, guys, we do so much work. And just like you, John, in baseball, February and March and April and May and installation and execution of these things that we're doing over and over and over. And then all of a sudden you have injuries and you got to move a kid to somewhere he's not played before.
Yeah.
And now there's a whole menu of things that you have to learn, and so some of that was on us to trim back so he could be successful and take some things out. But even in mistakes and errors that you make, effort can overcome those things.
Sure.
And
Well, in some ways, a blessing. You'd have never known he was this good of a defensive end if you had left him at linebacker and in and out, right?
I think he was an outstanding linebacker, but he's been a phenomenal.
He really has.
He could play any spot with that kind of effort.
Yeah.
And if you had 22 of those guys that motor ran like that, you'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to worry about 4 and 5 stars, man, because you got great high level effort kids.
100%.
Yeah.
And he's one of the ones that and you listed a lot of them that were popping into my head. One that we didn't list was one of them from an offensive standpoint that, we knew with Little and we knew with Doty, our receivers. And all of a sudden you got a third receiver in Lively that has really stepped. I'm just going to go ahead on record. I didn't realize how fast he was until I saw him down in Albertville.
Yeah, well, and we've known Lively's a special kid, and he's got a little juice about him. And it was just, we always talk about the kids too. Like, you've got to work while you wait for your opportunity, and you never know when that opportunity is going to come. And if you don't put in the work while you wait for your opportunity, then you're not going to have that opportunity when it comes and presents itself. And he's one of those kids that has worked and worked and worked, and then all of a sudden he gets his opportunities. And maybe it hasn't worked out where you're getting the touches, and now all of a sudden you're getting the touches. And, there's a lot of things that have to happen for him to get those touches, from O-line to quarterback and so on and so forth. But he has definitely maximized his chances, and he is a phenomenal player. We knew he was going to be really good.
So what year is he?
He's a junior.
He's just a junior. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and it just goes back to, it's just why you love coaching, because, you got the kids who that just continue to work, and then all of a sudden they get their opportunity and they flourish because they put in the work and then they do those things. And then you've got the other side of that, of people who carry bad body language and don't want to work and want to pout and don't want to work for their opportunity. Hey, it's the same in life when you move forward,
And that's the thing about 7A ball. I mean, you're not at one of the, when you get to 5 and 4 and on down, it's almost like whoever we've got on the team, we've got to get them out there for the most part. I mean, 6A, 7A, you've got to work to get onto that field.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of competition.
Sheer numbers, yeah.
We've got still, even into the playoffs, we've got competition going. And that's awesome. The message to the parents, like, this is 7A, it's not 4A, it's not 3A.
Right.
You have to show up and you have to compete and you have to produce a product that's on film that is tangible, that lends itself to you starting. And I had a conversation in my room with 2 of them last week. Look, you've played really well, and you've played really well, and then you've played not so well, and you've played not so well. And I don't care who you are, whoever's going to give us the best opportunity to win, we're going to put you on the field. And I don't care who you are or what your background is or where you're from. Obviously we've rotated quarterbacks and given them the opportunity for someone to take over that position, and at free safety.
As a coach, you're begging somebody, just take the job.
Just take the job.
Somebody win the job at every position.
But that's the message. Go be the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Own it.
Go be the man.
Makes our job easier when guys do that.
Yeah. You step up
when there's no question,
There's no doubt. There's no doubter. So, but competition also makes us better. And when guys are competing and you know that your job is on the line, that's the issue you run into when you don't have anybody that's going to push you for your position. You can coast. And your team's not going to be as good.
Yeah.
So I think numbers and competition makes us better.
Well, I joke a lot of times, I don't make the lineup out, the players do. I mean, the way you perform at practice and the way you perform when you get your opportunity, you make the lineup out. I don't.
Yeah. So sometimes you make my job easier.
I may write it down, but you're deciding. Don't kid this.
For us, the film doesn't lie.
Yeah, that's right.
We film every practice, every rep, every set. You want to come in and talk about playing time? The camera.
Put the film
hey,
on.
the eye in the sky don't lie. So
unless
we'll
you get
put
run
it up.
over by a lineman and then they hide that clip.
Oh, yeah. So 26 years, I got trucked the other day by a player for the first time.
Did you really?
I did. 2-minute drill. It was Derek Thomas. 300,
not a little guy.
330 pounds rolled over Coach McGehee. And
how'd it feel?
Well, I had Johnny cover my duty because I couldn't get up the hill. I had knee surgery in May, and so
that's the knee that got hit.
My knee was tweaked and my hip was hurt. I popped right up though. I faked it.
Oh yeah, you can't show it.
Got to fake it.
Yeah. And then when you go home, you shed a tear.
At 26 years, I've never been hit, run over, fallen down on the field, and it finally happened. It wasn't on film though. They immediately, as soon as they got film uploaded, they were trying to find it. Wow. So some cameramen almost lost their job over that.
Or maybe they earned some extra pay.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a little extra money on the under the table. We're not putting that one on there.
There you go.
So this Friday night, we're hosting the game, Central Phoenix City. You know, we've kind of talked about them a little bit, but really breaking it down from what you've seen on film, what are you guys looking at Friday night with this team?
We're going to have to play really high-level football. Nobody's giving us a chance. There's no doubt about it.
Sure.
Kids know it. We know it. And that's what I think. That's where I would like to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, opposed to 4 years ago when we were 10-0 and you know weren't coming into that like we were supposed to win it.
Sure.
You know, we're going to have to find a way to move the chains, shorten the game, keep their offense off the field, and we're going to have to maximize the opportunities that we have when we have opportunities for big plays. And we're going to have to control their explosives, make them work for it. Obviously, there's not a lineman under 325 on their offensive line, and like I said, we're used to that. We've seen that quite 4 or 5 times this year, where O-lines have been impressive, and they got great skill players and 4 and 5 stars, and we're going to have to be a really great high school football team that night.
Yeah,
like guys that rally together, that want to win for the brotherhood and for each other, and you know. We can't turn the ball over. We've got to create at least 2 to 3 turnovers in that game. I like our plan. Mm-hmm. I think our plan is really good. I think we're going to have guys in position to make plays. They're going to have to go make the plays when the time comes.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to have to will themselves to win the game to do that. And, you know, we've played them when I was at Hoover several times. And so I'm you know, anything is possible when you get to this point.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's a brand new season.
Absolutely. Everybody's 0-0.
That's it. I love that. Well, you guys can come out Madison City School Stadium this Friday night. We'll have the broadcast right here on PAS Plus. Kickoff's at 7 o'clock. I think we go live at 6:45. I'm looking at 6:30. Tim says 6:30. We probably don't go live till 6:45.
Our sponsors do.
Our sponsors do, but we don't go live. So, Coach, again, always a pleasure to have you come.
Hey, I did want to put a plug in for.
I was going to ask
Coach Kimbrough is not here.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't know why.
He's doing his election coverage tonight.
He's election coverage
another podcast.
Tonight.
He's a podcast.
I will
guru.
put a plug in that the James Clemens softball program has a fundraiser going on for.
Oh yeah.
Buying sheets.
I bought some sheets and some pillowcases.
I bought some sheets. The next day, I got an email said they shipped. I got them today, and I went ahead and washed them and put them on the bed today, even though my wife was like, "You're crazy. We just washed our sheets 2 days ago." I said, "Well, I want to know if these sheets are legit so we can plug the James Clemens softball program for these sheets."
So if you wake up tomorrow and you got a rash, we'll call Tim, and Tim have to edit this out.
Yes.
No, I'm sure.
So go on and support James Clemens softball
sure.
and get on there and buy those sheets.
Hey, how about that?
How about that?
What a
plug.
good guy.
He's such a
playoff week, and he's plugging softball.
He's plugging softball. JC Athletics at its best. County line culture, right?
There you go.
That's it. Well, Coach McGehee, always a pleasure. Best of luck to you guys Friday night. We'll be pulling for you. Go Jets all the way.
Go Jets.
All right, Coach Chad McGehee, head football coach, James Clemens High School. Big playoff game this Friday night, Madison City School Stadium. Kickoff is 7 o'clock against the visiting, was it Central Phoenix City Red Devils? The Red Devils. That's going to be an interesting matchup this Friday night. Looking forward to it, aren't you, Johnny?
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's take another break. We got more guests lined up. I can't wait for our next one. It's going to be our RedHawk Top Flight Award winner. Can't wait. We'll introduce you to him just a little bit. You're listening to the Wingmen podcast right here on PAS Plus.
You can download or listen to archives of this episode or past ones on demand by going to jcwingmen.net. You can also find links to our mobile app. The Wingmen will continue after this.
Here's what's on the Jets' radar. Bowling teams will be in action on Wednesday, taking on Hazel Green and the Varsity Boys against Lee on Thursday. Friday, varsity football will host Central of Phoenix City in the first round of the 7A playoffs. The state cross-country meet will be on Saturday at the Oakville Indian Mounds. Next Tuesday, varsity and JV bowling will face Columbia and Lee, while freshmen, JV, and varsity basketball will travel to Hueytown to start their seasons. We'll be back with more of the Wingmen on PAS Plus.
Are pests invading your home or business? Mosquitoes embedded on your property? Maybe excessive crawl-space moisture has attracted unwanted visitors. Then call RedHawk Pest Control, offering residential and commercial pest control, mosquito and brown recluse management, stinging insect control, foundation vents, and many other services to North Alabama and Southern Tennessee. RedHawk aims to be more than just a service provider. They want to build a long-term relationship with each customer. Call RedHawk Pest Control at 256-975-8817. Visit them on Facebook or online at redhawkpestcontrol.com.
Whether you're an experienced golfer or a total beginner, Madison Golf Center has the largest, most up-to-date practice range in North Alabama, including a complete teaching center with the best and most experienced instructional staff available at your convenience. Madison Golf Center features the most complete driving range facility around, with a large grass tee area allowing for 100 hitting stations a day with a 14-day rotation. Open every day year-round and located at 401 Lime Quarry Road, between Walt Triana and Hughes Road. Madison Golf Center.
If you're looking to make your business stand out, save yourself some time and make Apparel Lab in Madison your first call. Apparel Lab will help you grow your brand with custom t-shirts and hoodies using their unique direct-to-garment printing. Laser engraving can put your design on mugs and tumblers. Plus, they can help with custom-designed hats, stickers, banners, signs, decals, and much more. Apparel Lab. Call 344-4656 or visit them online at apparellab.inc and on Facebook and Instagram. Located in the Madison Mall Shopping Center on Old Madison Pike. Apparel Lab.
At Walk-On Sports Bistro, our love for the game, community, and heart of a walk-on make you feel like family the moment you walk in. Wings, shrimp, and burgers made from scratch, wall-to-wall TVs, and signature drinks. Founded by two LSU walk-ons, Walk-On Sports Bistro brings the cuisine, the culture, and the community to life. Always fun, never forced, and our doors are open to anyone. Walk-On Sports Bistro, 8368 Highway 72 West in Madison. Walk-On Sports Bistro.
Takes the snap. He's going to fake the pitch. He's at the 20, the 10. He's going to recover. Touchdown, James Clemens.
Be listening for James Clemens High School football this season as the Jets take on the best in Class 7A competition. You can hear every featured game streamed live online at pasnetwork.net on your Amazon Echo device by saying, Alexa, open PAS Plus, or on your PAS Plus app, and later on demand. You can also hear the replays at Sunday afternoons on WKAC Radio. Join us for exciting coverage of James Clemens Jets football this season from Play Action Sports.
Now, more of the Wingmen on PAS Plus.
Welcome back to the Wingmen podcast right here on PAS Plus, broadcasted live from Walk-On Sports Bistro on Highway 72 in Madison. Kirk Pierce, Johnny Johnson, Stone Cold Stretch Austin, Tim Lambert sitting here at the table, and just glad to have Coach McGehee come in, and always a pleasure. He was our first guest 13 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now he comes in.
And here we are,
playoff week, I tell you. So listen, you can download a copy of this episode of The Wingmen or listen to it on demand by going to jcwingmen.net. It's your streaming schedule of all of our upcoming James Clemens games, too. And by the way, Friday night, 7 o'clock, kickoff, Central Phoenix City.
Tune in.
Playoff round 1 at Madison City School Stadium. Looking forward to that. So as we move into what we refer to as, what we got?
Cruising
altitude. So our cruising altitude, we're going to bring in our RedHawk Top Flight Award winner.
The RedHawk Top Flight Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce to you the assistant principal at James Clemens High School, Allison Miller.
Hey,
Allison.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the table. Look, you said she was like an introvert. Look, she just comes off.
I am, y'all. This is like
she's totally
out of my comfort zone.
I thought we were going to have a lot of dead air when we asked you questions. The way Johnny was building it up.
No,
I
look, it's taken us like a month to get her here.
A little bit, yeah. It's been a struggle.
I'll tell you what, we finally got the deal done. We let her know that Kimbrew would not be here, and so she showed up.
That's what did it. That's what did it.
That's what I told Bradley that on the ride over. I said, "Hey, you know what sealed the deal today?" When I asked her about coming, you weren't going to be there.
Well, if he was here and you were here, he would probably have you doing the smelling salts too. I'm bringing that up every time. The smelling salts.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
He's got like this can with this ammonia stuff in it. You like weightlifters use, and that's been the top. Has this been like a month we've been talking about this?
Pretty much, dude.
They're doing it in the press box. I think it's addictive. I've avoided it.
Is it like allergy sinus thing?
No, it's like
power.
It's like power lifters are going to lift.
Oh, okay.
You know, like when people get knocked out in the old days, they crack that little thing and make them smell. Same concept.
But it's just a vitamin bottle full of it.
Clears your sinuses and like.
Stupid crazy.
Yeah.
Stupid crazy. So Allison, you are the assistant principal at James Clemens. How long have you been there?
I have been. This is my 11th year at James Clemens as assistant principal.
So did you and Flanagan? How far apart did y'all come in? About the same time.
She came 1 year right after me.
Okay, I was going to say I knew it was close.
Okay.
Yeah,
so her and Flanagan, pretty much. We talked about Miss Flanagan, kind of handling Dr. D a little bit and keeping him on. These two are really, now that we've got her here, we can talk about it. Dr. D's like the lead guy, the face, the show, and these are like the producers behind the scenes, right?
They're the Tim Lambert.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely, I'm supporting cast. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I like to live, not on this podcast.
So let's start off talking about kind of your role.
Okay.
Like every assistant principal has their role.
Right.
And so kind of tell the people what
tell
are you
the people
kind of
what
over?
do I do? Okay. I am
because it's a lot.
Over instruction. But I feel like I'm just the residence logistics queen and the spreadsheet queen.
Yes.
So if we need a plan, it's going to come to me. I'm not going to be the creator of the plan, but I'll be the executor.
But you can make it understandable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I am the fine arts liaison. I am the EL coordinator for the school.
Professional
development for teachers. Yeah.
She makes sure we get what we need to be successful in the classroom.
That's right.
Is that that sums it up?
Yeah, that's 100% right.
So has your role always been that since you got to JC, or is it kind of, it always has?
It always has. Except for the EL part. I picked that up a couple of years in.
Yeah, which is important.
Yeah.
Especially, at one point, and I'm going to get the number wrong, I'm sure, but like my wife is at Mill Creek, and they said there's like 46 different languages spoken at Milk Creek or in our system or something. Is that
in the
accurate?
system? It's in the 60s. At one point, we got up to 82 languages.
Really?
That's
just
crazy
in Madison
to think
City
about.
schools.
Like just to comprehend the EL part of it, like it's if you have a high Hispanic population, you got a lot of Spanish speakers, you can kind of cater to that. But with 60-something languages,
right?
I can't imagine trying to coordinate who's getting help where and who can help those people. Like,
Yeah. It's really. I can't imagine being in their shoes, walking into a place where I understand very little of what's going on with the culture or the language and trying to be successful in school as a high school student, trying to figure that out. Just the compassion that I feel for them is unbelievable because I can't imagine walking into that myself.
Yeah, me either.
So what's one of the languages that would probably shock me that we've got? I mean, Because I know we're kind of
still-
North Alabama's kind of becoming
Yeah.
a little bit more of a melting pot with the way the industry, the defense industry, the space industry, and all of that. So
Toyota Mazda.
Toyota Mazda.
Yeah,
so
for
you
sure.
have a lot of that. But
We do. I think probably the one that I thought was most surprising was French Creole.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, that one was. I was like, oh, okay, we have French Creole. That's one we haven't had before.
Was this like
Marshallese? That's
Yeah.
another.
Okay.
That I didn't.
Marshall from the
I
Marshall
don't know that I
Islands.
even knew existed really until we had students that spoke Marshallese.
The Marshall Islands have their own.
They do their own.
Really?
Their own
Yeah,
English,
so-
their own dialect.
I had a kid that, he was from not Pompeii. I mean, that's obviously with the volcano and everything. But one of the Marshall Islands, I coached him in like flag football in Athens, and he comes
And you
in.
didn't know how to speak that?
I could not. Well, fortunately, he had enough English to where we. Man, you talk about athlete.
Yeah.
Dude, this kid could fly. But yeah, I mean that's interesting that some
Such
of
a
that
special group of kids.
It
They're
is.
super hard workers, dedicated to their learning. They soak it in so quickly, and their language acquisition just takes off really fast. It's amazing.
Well, when you get thrown to the fire, you kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you really
They say the best way to learn a new language is to get immersed in it, and they don't have a choice. I mean, their parents move here.
100%
Here you are.
immersed. Yeah.
Talk about the fine arts liaison. Is that what you said? Like,
That
what is your
what I
role with
said.
that?
That's a fancy way of saying
That
I'm a
is-
fine arts person. Yeah. So I get to do a lot of fun stuff as the fine arts liaison. I get to watch our arts programs do what they do best. So our band at James Clemens has just finished up their competition season. They call it like Bandtober, the month of October.
Such a good group.
High competition, always so dedicated to their craft and to trying to improve through everything that they do, between creating a football show and then doing also a competition show over the last couple of years. That's kind of evolved to where you got your fan favorites on the field at halftime, and then they're competing with a show. This
Well, that
year's
was-
show, Nightfall, is off the chain. They went above and beyond.
Well, it was crazy. We had Mr. Anderson
Yeah,
on earlier
yeah.
in the deal and talking about, I did not realize, I always assumed, and I guess smaller schools probably, their halftime show is their competition
Right,
show.
yeah.
I did not realize they were
Yeah.
putting in the work to have two totally
shows
different shows.
in the same season.
Which is impressive.
It is.
Yeah.
So are you part of where they decide? Do you get to sit in the room as they start deciding?
Oh no, I don't
He
want to
acted
be
like
any
that
part
was
of
kind
that.
of fun.
I don't want to be any part of that. No, I get to be just a fan on the side, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome to just be from that viewpoint. They've done 3 competitions this month, and they've earned superior ratings at all 3 of them.
They do
which
such a
is awesome.
fantastic job, and the whole theme for this year for the halftime show was Elvis.
Yes.
And a few years ago, they got to my heart with a little bit of Journey. I love some Journey. That would be the one band I would go see if I could go back in time to see with Steve Perry at Leeds. So, but a couple of weeks ago, I think we were at Sparkman, and we usually broadcast during the game at halftime the band's performance. So usually I lead in and I'll tell them what it is. And I was like, here's James Clemens Marching Band with their ode to Elvis.
And then
they
what
go
time?
right into the competition performance.
They did their competition
straight
on
up
that
got
night,
me.
yeah.
I was like, what?
Messed you right up.
It messed me up.
Well, and we talk about all the fine art stuff. You talk about the art. You talk about choir, band. And then I went to the deal last night for Jets Press.
Yeah.
The little October deal they do with all the little scary
Yeah,
short
that's
films.
my least favorite because I don't do horror. but
It really wasn't that scary.
Scares
My
me
wife
a
and I
little
went, and I hadn't gone, but one of my kids in class was on the deal that won in New York. They won the whole competition in New York, and so she was telling me about it, and so I went last night and watched them. It's really impressive what those kids do.
Our kids
And
are,
what Mr. Combs does, I guess.
Our kids are so amazing. Like, they are so talented in everything that they reach out to do, whether it's arts or athletics. We just got the most impressive kids at James Clemens. We're super blessed to have the kids that we have. Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely.
That Alabama High School Film Festival, it is an international festival, and they took home the prize for the Claustrophobic Challenge. They had to film a whole movie in 48 hours and edit it, produce
In one
it.
room.
In one room.
They had to hire actors. They had to rent a place.
Really?
And then do it in 48 hours. Film it, edit it, the whole deal. It's really impressive. And the film's like 3-4 minutes long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a short little deal, and it was scary or whatever, but it was really kind of impressive to watch last night and go, they pulled that off in 48 hours.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That wasn't the one Carson was running up and down the hall, was it?
No, that was in
I think
class.
that was a different one.
That was in class, filming for a history. He ran out in front of my room one day having some kids, and I went out the door looking like I was fixing
Like
to get
something was going down.
and they were filming something for one of his classes.
Yeah, it was a wild video.
Yeah.
Always something going on.
So fine arts, I mean, that doesn't just stop with the choir. That doesn't stop with the band. I mean, it gets into the arts itself, like the actual, drawing, the paintings and all of that. So you're part of that whole process too.
All of that, I'm their cheerleader, right? I feel like that's my role in life is to be people's cheerleader.
And now your kiddos, are they still involved in all that stuff?
Yeah, I've got
I know your daughter
drama
was, right?
and I've got a band.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they were. So what are they involved? Which does what? Or
My senior is drama,
Okay.
and my freshman is band.
and that's drama. We didn't even talk about that with Mr. Tell and all those guys.
Yeah, they just this weekend had District Drum Hour. We hosted it here at James Clemens, and
Yeah, that was crazy.
there were kids everywhere. We had the one night competition on Friday where both Bob Jones and James Clemens proceeded to state competition. So
Well,
the
you're not
two
allowed to
schools, I
mention
know
both
the
of
other
them.
school.
We don't care about
I
them.
know.
I'll just.
But super impressive for
We're
the
allowed
city
to
of
be
Madison.
ugly on this podcast sometimes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
We just start calling them
Be
toss.
proud. Be proud. I'm just
toss.
The fact
the other school.
yeah. Good. So the fact that both of the shows that proceeded from District 1 from District onto state competition both came from Madison City is amazingly impressive.
Well, and it
Always
speaks volumes
represent well.
again. You're talking about the diversity of the people that live here.
Mm-hmm.
Just walking our halls and seeing the diversity of the kids, and then how much different talent in different areas. You talk about how we do compete and be successful in athletics in many ways. Then you talk about competing band, final, the film deal. Now, I mean, it really is impressive to see what our kids do and the people that lead them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Miss Miller.
So
cheerleader.
So and 13 years, would you say 12, 11 years?
11 years.
11 years. So, anything that from the 11 years that you've seen just progressively get better out of all of this, the fine arts and everything?
Well, everything. 11 years ago, it was year 3 for James Clemens.
Sure.
And we were still super tiny and still trying to figure out who we were, what our culture was. And just to watch that progression continue to grow and to continue to be defined by the leaders that step up into the different roles in our building is really something that's special to be part of.
Yeah.
Really proud to be part of that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's like a broken record what for us every week when we get on this Red Hawk stuff, because it's such a special place to be. Like the people we work with overall, I mean, there's always challenges everywhere.
Sure.
But for people that have not been outside of James Clemens, I don't think they grasp it as much as people that have come from other places and been other places. Like how really cool things are here, and what good people we're surrounded with, and that starts at the top with Flanagan, Miller, Dr. D, McCann. I mean, like the admin we work for is like no other.
Yeah,
like it's positive, it's upbeat, it's hey, we need to get this done. I mean, it's a different world, man.
Coming from the outside, we've talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Coming from the outside, like myself, not being, involved. I don't have any kids in James Clemens and everything, but it's the culture slowly grabs hold and it doesn't let go.
It didn't.
Well, and like I said, the leadership matters because that kind of leaks down into the rest of us, and you do a good job of leading and you hire good people, right?
Right.
And when you get that combination, things are pretty good.
Even if it takes all summer long.
Even if it takes 10 interviews or however many interviews y'all did last summer. I mean, it's like 1,000 interviews to fill those spots.
I left a chair all summer.
I felt like every time I went by last summer to check a mailbox, to go by to the field, I'd go say hey in the office. They were always sitting there waiting to do another interview or in an interview.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. This summer was alive, but it was worth it. We were able to recruit some really great people. I'm super proud of our new pilots. And
had a meeting today with
had
new pilots.
A meeting today. Yeah, just
new
a touch
pilots.
base. Oh yeah, the jet
everything's
puns,
jet, man.
Yeah, the jet references abound.
See, that's the jump seat she's sitting in right
that's
there.
Right.
That must be the pilot.
I'm the captain.
Oh, that's true.
Come on,
I'm
you gotta let me have something. So one last question for you.
All right.
What'd you think of that bread pudding?
That bread pudding. I'm mad at Coach Maxwell for making me taste it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you, that's why I didn't, because I knew I'd want a whole one.
That's right.
It'll
Their
good
food
stuff.
here is really good.
It'll change your life.
You'll have to bring the fam. You got a gift card coming.
All right.
It's worth it Have you eaten here before?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, she knows.
Yeah, I know.
She knows.
I ate at Walk-Ons before we even had one here.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a veteran.
It's a fan favorite.
Oh, there we go.
And see, you get a Wingmen podcast T-shirt.
Sweet.
So
and she's in the drawing, right?
Yeah. So that's the other thing. Tim, tell us about the drawing.
Come on, Tim, fill us in. You're entered in a drawing.
Yeah, you're the RedHawk Pest Control will have a drawing at the end of the season for a year of free service from RedHawk Pest Control.
Sweet.
See, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you're in competition with me.
Oh.
And I'm not saying it's rigged or anything.
And Burgess and Orr and Flanagan and who else we had on?
I don't have a shot. I don't have a shot.
I mean, that's some thunder we've brought in here.
Y'all did.
Outside of you.
I was just.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Doug Haygood, he was one.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some really good ones, and just continues on.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Sergeant Major.
Sergeant Major.
I forgot about top notch.
Yeah.
Oh, Jones, what's her first name?
Kelly
Jones.
Yeah. Kelly Jones, yeah.
Another one of our parents that's real involved.
Yeah.
So this is podcast number 13. So
you're lucky 13.
Number 13.
You got here. You got
did.
In time.
Kicking and screaming, but I got here.
I'm so proud that you showed up when Bradley wasn't here, number one, and that you finally made it. We were able to honor you tonight. So thank you for coming.
And it wasn't
that bad, was it?
No, y'all are great.
I told you just go sit and talk.
I know.
That's it. That's all we do. Just sit and talk and eat bread pudding.
Next thing you know, her and Flanagan are have their own podcast.
I mean, we've talked about it.
You should.
And she would lead it. Don't worry.
I know. I can just spit you the side. Yeah.
You can be the color commentary.
Color commentary. That's right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our RedHawk Top Flight Award winner, Allison Miller.
The RedHawk Top Flight Award.
Allison, thank you for being a part of this podcast with us. Thanks for being here at the table, and enjoy your Walk-Ons gift card and wear that T-shirt with pride. We'll take another break. When we come back, we got a couple more guests for you. You're listening to the Wingmen podcast right here on PAS Plus.
Nominate an athlete, student, administrator, or another member of the James Clemens family for a job well done by going to jcwingmen.net and filling out the form for the RedHawk Top Flight Award. They could win a gift card from Walk-On's Sports Bistro along with a Wingmen t-shirt from Apparel Lab, and at the end of the season, we'll draw from all the recipients for a year of service from RedHawk Pest Control. The Wingmen will be back after this.
Remember the days when you had that one mechanic you could count on time after time? At Madison Automotive, they believe that the key is building lasting relationships with their customers. Their experienced and certified technicians are passionate about providing high-quality services with honest communication and attention to detail. From routine maintenance to major repairs, Madison Automotive uses top-quality parts and state-of-the-art equipment to ensure your car receives the best care possible. Located at 9075 Madison Boulevard, call 256-772-0760. Madison Automotive.
We know you want to look good. Chopping Blades Barbershop knows it too, and they're passionate about making their clients look great. Men, women, kids, doesn't matter. You can just walk on in their location at 7985 Highway 72 Suite 2 in Madison or call 256-325-3230. Check out Chopping Blades on Facebook too. Chopping Blades Barbershop.
Since 2014, Honest Coffee Roasters has believed that coffee should be both delicious and of the highest quality. Full-service craft coffee shops locally owned in Madison and Huntsville, they source their coffee directly from farmers around the world, so they know the quality in each cup. And not only coffee, breakfast, lunch, acai bowls, and seasonal treats too. Order online at honesthsv.coffee. Honest Coffee Roasters, located at 92 Shorter Street in Madison and 114 Clinton Avenue East, number 106 in Huntsville. Honest Coffee Roasters. One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. North Alabama Gas District has provided safe, reliable, and economical natural gas service to Madison and surrounding areas of Limestone County for over 40 years. However, accidents and leaks do sometimes occur. If you smell odors similar to rotten eggs or notice other possible signs of a gas leak, such as a fire or explosion, a blowing or hissing sound, or blowing dust or bubbling water, leave the area immediately, avoid ignition sources, warn others, and from a safe location, contact us immediately at 256-772-0227. And remember to call 811 before you dig. North Alabama Gas District, we take safety seriously.
You can't spell Wingmen without the letters W-I-N, and the Wingmen podcast has plenty of ways to win. How about a bucket and a bite from Madison Golf Center? Go to jcwingmen.net and enter your name. Then we'll pick from the online entries and give away a gift card good for a bucket of balls and lunch at the grill. Bucket and a bite from Madison Golf Center and the Wingmen podcast.
The Wingmen podcast is back now on PAS Plus.
Welcome back to the Wingmen podcast right here on PAS Plus as we're sitting here live at the broadcast table, if you will. I think that's what we're going to call it.
Is this the cockpit?
This is, I guess you could call it that if you want, the cockpit. I mean, we're Walk On Sports Bistro on Highway 72 in Madison. Kirk Pierce, Johnny Johnson. No Brad Kimbrough tonight. Probably for the best. I don't know. Carson Austin, Tim Lambert, as we wave bye to Coach McGehee and his family as they leave out and good interviews so far.
Oh yeah, we're proud of Miss Miller. She did a great job.
She did a fantastic job.
Well deserved.
And this segment we call the final approach. It's not the landing, but we have our final approach, and we got a couple more guests we want to introduce to everybody, and I'm sure some of y'all are very familiar with both of these names of these individuals we're going to introduce to you. The head basketball coach for the girls varsity at James Clemens, Monica Maxwell. Monica, welcome back. Welcome to the podcast. Now, I've talked to you at halftime.
Right.
See,
this is new for me.
And she was at Walk-Ons a few times. She hanging out during the podcast.
She was here at Walk-Ons last week.
With my wife and them hanging out.
She was having a good time last week. It was fun, right?
Yeah. Listen, I'm just here for the family.
You're here for the bread pudding.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That'll get you every time. Every time. The other guest that we want to introduce to you is the head basketball coach for the boys, the varsity boys over at James Clemens, Coach Frankie Sullivan. Coach, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being here, both of you. So we get double basketball action tonight. Johnny, I don't know how to approach this.
I know.
I don't know
That's
what to
a lot.
do. I don't know.
There's some powerful people in the room right now.
We do. Yeah. There's a lot of clout right here at this table right now.
Let's talk about Coach Johnson.
No.
Hey,
all I am is a PA guy when it comes to basketball.
No, you are the PA guy.
So
I'm recruiting a replacement.
So does Johnny ever, like, when he's PA, does he get into it like the Chicago Bulls announcer used to, with Michael Jordan and all of that? Do you do that? Do you go?
I try to get a little fired up for the intros.
We get. He definitely get fired.
I need to come listen to you.
Come on, man.
Critique.
I get fired up for the intros. Now during the game, it's announcing who's going in and out. I mean, that's all I'm doing really.
Yeah.
And play some music.
Okay, let's not downplay it.
Right, like you don't do a great job. Like
when
you
are gone, your absence is definitely better.
We're not doing that.
Let's not do that.
That's because I bring my own music.
When I didn't recognize who it was the first time I heard him, I thought it was a professional.
Thank you. Wow. It's my professional voice.
The man with the golden voice right here, Johnny Johnson.
No. I do. It's fun though. I do have fun. Yeah. It's fun being around these people anyway.
Yeah. So, coaches, between the two of you, which one gets more animated on the court?
Definitely Coach Sullivan. Oh, man.
No, see, last year I toned it down a whole lot. I got a lot of praise for it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better at that. Like, it's just as you get, like Coach told me before, once you get into coaching, you get older and coaching, you just can't do it anymore. It takes too much out of you, and then you get home, you have nothing left for your family. So I'm trying to get better at.
You learn to pick your spots.
Yeah, you pick your spots a little bit.
Pick your battles.
Yeah,
they're still young and full of what.
So, Coach Maxwell, you don't get animated?
Oh, come on. I get animated.
I heard. So that's what's funny is I've talked to, they asked me, some friends of people that I know, and I live in Limestone County, and so you do James Clemens stuff. Yeah. Do you do basketball? No, I don't do basketball. Oh, okay. Because we played James Clemens and the girls, and their coach got animated.
Was that against East Limestone? Was it East Limestone people?
No, it wasn't East.
It was Athens.
And listen, and that's fine. Everyone has their opinion. Everyone has their opinion.
I'm just wondering. I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I wasn't there, so I'm just trying to get your side because they said that you were really animated.
No, I am. But I mean, I've also learned, obviously, from Frankie. Like my first year, good God, like you. There's a lot of things you couldn't tell me. But after, this is my 4th year there, so I have learned a lot, like who to mess with, who not to mess with. But I've also learned, when you're in certain situations, like you getting animated actually helps your team.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep learning.
And sometimes not getting animated helps your team.
Right.
But I think we all go through that as coaches.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know even coming out of like college baseball into high school and being a head coach for the first time, I was good to get thrown out once a year for my first 3 years. Like I was going to get thrown out.
Yeah.
Now I haven't been thrown out, and I don't once in the last 15 years. You know what I mean? Like you just learn to pick your spots and who you can talk to a certain way, and what referees you can't speak to a certain way or whatever. So it's just part of the process, man. And you're passionate. You're young. You're passionate. You want to win, and sometimes that leaks out, right?
It definitely does. And it gets to a point where people take your animation and your passion for the game the wrong way because it's high school. It's like supposed to teaching kids in high school. Right. But at the same time, it's a competitive sport. Like you're not here to give away participation trophies. And I think a lot of parents think that that's the case. When you come to James Clemens, and like I said, Coach Johnson took me on his wing when I got there because like he knows what to do with certain things in certain situations. And then you get in here and then like, you're doing everything you can daily for your kids, and then you get out there and then like bad calls, bad calls back to back to back. Like, all right, now you're playing with me. now you're playing with me, and like we all know the game. I'm not saying I don't know the game more than you, but you're playing with me at this point.
Well, and I think it's tough too. Like, and I think we've all been in similar situations. You're talking about two people that played high level basketball.
Yeah.
Both Division I players, played some pro ball, whatever, came from college basketball as an assistant coach. And like you come to the high school level, and at least for me, and I shouldn't speak for y'all, those first few years as a high school coach, I expected my players to be as serious about baseball as I was.
Man.
Like they're on scholarship, and it took me 3 years and almost losing a job to go, okay, these are high school kids, and some of them are just happy to have a jersey, and I'm going to have to live with that a little bit. Yeah. I've got to find a happy medium, and because it is hard. Because you're talking about they came from high-level basketball, right. and you're not necessarily at that anymore.
No, you're not.
It's high school sports. It's different for some of them.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a transition for everybody.
That was the best thing that ever happened. And I think we made the Final Four. I talk about it all the time, the Final Four run. Austin, I forgot his last name, but the kid came up to him. He played lacrosse.
Final Four.
Yeah, in the Final Four, the year before the Final Four, the Austin kid came up. He was like, Coach, I just want to play defense.
Oh, no, what I'm saying is it wasn't a Final Four run. Coach, you went to the finals.
I went to the finals.
You were the final two, bro.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I was the runner-up in the state. You can say that. I didn't want you to sell yourself short.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so Austin,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Austin was like, Coach, I just want to play defense. And I was like, I never had a kid to just, and he was serious, but he said, I just want to make Brody better. That's all he wanted to do. He just wanted to make Brody better. And I was like, I'm in it for the wrong reason. I can't get kids like this every single year to just buy into practice and then make other people better. And then so like now I go seeking those type of kids. You get 2 or 3 of those, it changes your whole program. It changes your locker room. It changes the feel for the game. And you have a little bit more respect for those kids because you know they're coming every day, giving everything they got, and they might not never get in the game.
That's the theme for the podcast tonight because that's what Coach McGehee talked about earlier. We were talking about a couple of different individuals that have been, standing out and some of his underclassmen. He talked about, if he had 22 of this particular individual,
it would just come get it every day.
Come get it. That's going to make a big difference,
Absolutely.
So between the two of you, which one's been teed up the most?
Maxwell.
I think it's
No, it's not. I stopped. No, it's you got bad. She's bad. Like I've been here 7 years. She caught me already. Like it's bad.
Okay. Can I defend myself?
You can. Go ahead.
My first year, I may or may not have gotten about 8, but listen, since then. Last year I only got 1.
Yeah.
You have changed.
Oh, thank you.
Tremendously.
Thank you.
No, I got 3. I got 3 last year.
Oh.
No. We're gonna talk about it. I got 3 last year. I got 3.
2 of them came in one night.
2 of them came in one night. I got 1 at Mount Brook, and you ask anybody, it was validated. The crowd, she was there. The crowd was crazy. The stuff they were saying was like ill-advised for the kids.
You were defending your kids.
I defended my kids. Yeah. And then I got 1 at. We shouldn't have been over in the first place. Went to Austin, helped them out in a Christmas tournament. So I'm gonna go and help them out. And we get over there. I got thrown out the game. with 0.3 seconds. I was calling a timeout, and he just, I don't know. I promise you, I wasn't yelling that game. I didn't really even care about the game. I'm not going to tell you any joke. I didn't, because we just played the night before, was filling the game in. He threw me out, and then the next day, he wrote up that I talked across the court to him. I was literally standing up and calling a timeout. Even what was bad about it, Dr. Donaldson, my principal, my boss is behind me. He was like, "What did you do?" I said, "Call the timeout." He said, "Man, let's go." He said, "Let's go, man." That's how bad it was. He was like, "Let's go." But like, that's the one thing I'm like, me and Maxwell talk about all the time. We try to help each other out. Once you get that reputation, you have to live with it. Like, you have to live with it until you change and prove people wrong, that you're trying to grow and have adult conversation with the referees and other guys about, because everybody know how they talk. That's what they talk about. And I'm okay being, I tell people all the time, I'm okay being Joker.
Absolutely.
Just know that you're getting the truth. That's what you're getting. You're getting the truth all the time. So.
Well, and I think part of that process, too, and you'll look back at it when you're old like me, like the umpires I had in most early years where I was getting run all the time and was a total jerk at times, we laugh about it now. Yeah. Because I have changed, and I've been in it long enough that I've become friends with some of them and learned that sometimes I can get things done out of being nice. And then when they know, well, but the difference is now I've been around it long enough and I've had relationships with these guys. Now, if I blow, they know something's wrong.
They know, absolutely.
But it's funny because we'll still laugh about me in 2005, 6, and 7 when I was like blowing their hair back and saying every cuss word I could find, and it wasn't good. But now we can laugh about it.
But I do have to say, listen, me and Frank, I think most referees actually take it as an insult when we correct them, because it's almost like, how dare you correct us? Like, yes, but we're coaches. We also know the rules. So if you're wrong and I feel like you're wrong, I'm going to say something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can come and talk to us without us being disrespectful. But when you tell me, hey, I'm not coming to talk to you, well, absolutely.
Well, and then that becomes a referee problem.
Absolutely.
Like the ones that are confident in what they do and really do a good job will come have conversations with
absolutely
you.
Right.
Tough conversations.
Right.
And they'll let you kind of say your piece as long as it doesn't get out of control. And those are the ones that do a really, really good job of controlling a game.
Absolutely.
It's the ones that want to be like, throw the hand up to you and don't want to talk to you, that you're like, oh, heck no.
And you know what? And that's when I'm okay with being the bad guy. Because what we're not going to do is, if I feel like you're cheating my players or you're selling me short, like, I'm not going to just lay down and be like, you know what, it's okay, I'm just going to sit down. No, we're not doing that. Because I want them to know, like, hey, we're going to fight for you regardless.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Well, and that's
whatever.
the message to your team, like Frankie was talking about, or one of y'all made that mention, that sometimes your team just needs to know you're fighting for them.
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes it's all right. That's a good technical.
And that goes a long way.
And I would think it's tough in basketball because it's such a high-intensity, upbeat sport. Like, it never really stops for very long. Yep. Like, to transition from, I've got your back, I'm going at somebody, and then all of a sudden I got to get back to, okay, what defense are we
coaching,
in?
Absolutely.
like that, and forget about that quickly because I've got to concentrate on what's going on. That's a tough transition. Whereas for baseball, you got time to breathe.
Yeah.
If I go,
right,
that's got to be tough for y'all to switch gears back and forth.
The biggest thing now is Coach Cleves. He does it for all my assistant coaches for that. Coach Phillips, Coach Cleve, got Coach Parker on there with us now. Alex Parker came from Huntsville girls. Coach Cleve will literally like tug my shirt, and he would like, Coach,
it's
Coach.
That's enough.
He's like, Coach, like, I got that, just Coach. I'll talk to him, just Coach.
He's the get back coach.
He's the get back guy, and it's actually like, at first when people say that to me, I was like, man, I'm not a dog. Like, don't put it on the leash. But at some point in time, when you are going and do things that you need to do for your team, you need somebody to be like, hey, like somebody you trust, like, that's enough. Like,
well, that's the word. You got to trust whoever's doing that.
Absolutely.
Like, to pull it back, like I said, Coach Cleve coming on been a tremendous help for me, not only on the court, but just helping me out being a better man. Like, when you and getting around better people, better men, like Coach Johnson, like I said, Coach Maxwell, who's doing it with her kids every single day, and you see parenthood, and you're like, is that really worth it? Because like last year, I tell people all the time, my motto last year was, and it's really crazy, it's probably going to sound real out of the way. If you're not willing to die behind it, let it go.
Let it go.
Because at this day and age, when most places you go and most places that you have an altercation with people, that's where it's going to.
Yeah.
Like, they're not pulling it back. It's like, just like I'm defending my family, they're defending their family. So if you're not willing to die behind that situation, just let it go. So that's how I look at it. And I ask people all the time, you willing to go there? Because I'm willing to go there now.
Yeah.
Like, we can go to Publix and do it. We can go to Walmart and do it. We can go to Park Lot and do it. Are you willing to go there? And then, like, that's when you tone it back and be like, it really wasn't that serious.
Yeah.
So it helps out a whole lot.
So with basketball season kind of getting in, I know that Both of you have some experience with your teams, on the team. So let's talk about that. Coach Maxwell, tell us a little bit about what the varsity girls are looking like.
She just you mean start with me?
Right. No, this is my first year where we're actually truly young.
Yeah.
Like we have 75% underclassmen on our varsity team. And honestly, I'm worried about just developing them. I'm making sure they come up the right way. And I understand that this comes with like your culture. So you got to have upperclassmen who can lead. But as a coaching staff, I feel like we've all done a 360. Like we have had countless coaches meetings of like, hey, how are we going to do it with them?
Mm-hmm.
What have we done that we want to change? And how are we going to move forward? How are we going to progress? Who's going to develop these people? Like, what are we working with? So there's a lot of things that we have tried to put in so far. From every aspect, development on the court to development off the court to, school, like the whole nine, like community service. Like we have done so many things in the last 6 months that we haven't truly done and since, I've been here. And I'm hoping that changes them from like young women to grown women to, they see me be a mom every day and coach and work and do all this stuff. Like I want to be an example, and that's actually another reason why I have tried to calm down on the sideline a little bit. But this year we're going to be really young, and I just want to make sure that the mistakes we made today we don't make tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I should be fired if I said state championship is not in my goal. But obviously that is. But just with being realistic and being with a super young team who's never seen the talent that we're going to see this year. Yeah. It's important for me to make sure we develop them and make sure they come up correctly, so that when I come back next year, I can say, hey, listen, we ready. But right now it's more so I want them to learn everything the correct way. We're not going to take any shortcuts. We're not going to cut corners. Like, I want to make sure, like, hey, you are skilled at doing this. You are, we don't ever have to worry about you getting in triple threat or learn how to do left hand, right hand layups or dribble left hand, right. Like, we already have that done. Mm-hmm. But honestly, the biggest thing for us is competing every day, no matter what drill, be the first in practice. And it's little things. Be the first in practice. Like, who won that? And I think little things like that, always seeing us win and aspects off the court is going to make them more or better competitors on the court.
Yeah. So Coach Sullivan, same question for you.
For us, it's just I'm big on end of the year. Like a lot of coaches go beginning of the year, want to win 20 games. That means absolutely zero to me. We play 3 phases of the season. The preseason, when you come in right before Thanksgiving, and you got the second season when it comes in. Well, actually 4 season. You come in during the Christmas break and you have a good little tournament there, but you really have to turn on in January and February. That's when you want to get your wins, and hopefully we can host this year the area tournament, and then also just make another run. I think this is a team right here that can make another run, and the stars are aligned for on our side. God, thank you. Hoover's on the other side. Like I give kudos to teams that they're very, very good. Hoover, Huntsville. It's going to be a battle on that side of the floor. Who else? Opelika. All those guys on the same side, so it's putting guys from down south and myself and another side to feel like we got a chance to at least make it back to the final.
Even in North Alabama. North Alabama competition and in both boys and girls. Basketball is ridiculous.
Yes.
All across this area.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like once again, Huntsville gonna be another competing team because they bringing back 4 to 5 starters. Mm-hmm. Like that's a big deal. Off for, like I said, a Final Four run. That was a really
extremely
good run.
Talented team last year.
Real, and then you only losing a big. You replace one big with 2 bigs that's 6'9". So I think that's
really?
They did. So I think that's a win-win for them on that end with with good guard play. But like I said, back to us when we come out. Everybody knows we're gonna compete. You're not gonna come in here and just beat James Clemens. And I think that's the ideal that we want to put in people's head when you come to play James Clemens. It's gonna be all our dogfight. And I every year I give this nugget. I'm gonna give you this nugget. I try to find something that get me going through the year. And I start watching the movie War Room. If you haven't watched it, it's a great movie. It's just teaching you that prayer. I know you don't supposed to talk about it in school and all that, but
we're not at school.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but just for more people, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it right now in the world, but just prayer and just making sure that you do your part. Mm-hmm. Do your part. That's what I tell our guys all the time. If you do your part, don't worry about anybody else. Just do your part. Then when you ball your fist up, you'll make a mighty blow.
War room. I have to check that out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check that out.
it's a phenomenal movie, and so like I not only take that in my home life is good with my wife and myself and just doing the right thing. Basketball always take care of itself.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm going back to just the basics. Every year it's back to the basics. And I find one movie to get me going, and the basics is going to get you.
He said home life's good. Home life's fixing to change.
Change for the better.
Am I allowed to bring that up?
It is like that. We're about to have our first child, and people say the home life is going to change. I promise you it's not, because her dad already talking about coming to get the baby. Like, he want to come get the first week.
Okay.
I'm being serious. Her mom coming to stay with us for 2 weeks.
Monica.
Oh, I'm telling you.
My mom is two.
You got 2 kids?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I've got 1. How many you got?
I got 3.
Tim?
I got 3 kids and some grandkids. So I'm telling you.
Did your life change at all when that kid came?
Oh,
Anybody?
yeah.
Hey, listen, let me tell you this. I'm gonna brag on Frankie real quick. I have 2 kids, and they have called Frankie Uncle Frankie.
Oh, yeah.
For 4 years, since Jet has been able to talk.
Yeah.
And when I tell you Frankie is a sucker for my kids, I'm talking about, hey, Mom, can I? No. Uncle Frankie, yes, come on. I mean, so you think his life is finna change, but he is going to be, and obviously he's right here, but I would say this without him. He's going to be a better man. He's going to be a better husband. He's going to be a better coach.
Yeah.
And a phenomenal dad.
Absolutely.
I hope so. I pray that happens.
Absolutely.
But all those things you said you were never going to tell your kids?
Oh, you all.
Oh, yeah. You will.
I don't have
yeah.
McDonald's money. I don't.
No, see, I would say that. That's what I'm saying. Like you have to meet my wife.
Burger and two
I'm
pieces of
saying
Wonder
no,
Bread.
and my wife is like constantly playing it like, so we're going to do daycare. And she was like, well, can I get him half day every day? I was like, no. Like, you paying for daycare for a full day.
Full day syndrome.
Like, that's her. Like, my wife is that type of person. So, like people say it's going to change. Yeah, it's going to change our lifestyle, how we move and maneuver throughout the day-to-day situation. But my parents, anybody know my parents, like, they come to the game, and I got, like, 7 nieces and nephews, and all of them with my mom. They load them in the van, they coming. And, like, my sister went out of town this past weekend, and all of them with my mom. It's your life don't stop because of that, because my parents are always here.
Yeah.
And then my wife's brother don't want kids, so he's not going to have kids at all. He already said that. And this is only grandchild, so that boy is going to be
rotten.
Like, he's going to be rotten. That's what I'm scared of. And I told him, like, something got to be hard. Something has to be hard on that boy. Like, it has to be hard. But I think it's going to be a good experience. I'm terrified because, like I said, I want to do everything the right way. And that's why it's like
there's no book, man.
Yeah,
There's not a book.
They wrote a bunch of them, but they don't mean anything.
They don't mean anything, yeah.
You just figure it out as you go.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden you find. I mean, my son was he's 30 now, and I was 23 when he was born, and so I was super young in terms of how a lot of that worked out. And
Now you're 53.
Thank you. Do you teach math at James Clemens?
Oh, we're in the financial part of career prep right now.
So for me, it was, there was still a big learning curve, but all of a sudden there's some instincts that tend to come into play, and I think, I think it's going to be fine. You're going to do really well.
Yes.
I hope so.
Yeah, you go. So last question before we let both of y'all go. Now, this is actually, I know what you're going to say when I ask this question. But so I'm gonna start with you, Coach Maxwell.
Oh God!
Ladies first.
Do you ever get on the court and show the girls how it's done?
Absolutely. Come on.
I think there was a tweet out not too long ago. You shooting from the corner, if I remember correctly.
Listen, this is how I feel. I feel like if a coach can't do it, you can't trust them to teach you how to do it.
Don't tell my kids that, because I can't do it anymore.
But you used to be able to. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
So this is the thing. I'm still blessed to be able to. Now listen, I'm not saying I'm not sore for days after. Okay,
Gotcha,
so let's put that out there. Okay. But my assistant coach and we're still blessed to be able to get out there. Like, we'll play pickup with them. We'll do drills with them. We'll make sure, we show them the right way to do it.
Yeah.
And the fact that, in my big age and my assistant's big age, we can go out there and we can play pickup with them, and we can get up and down the floor and do the things that we're asking them to do. They know it's not like an unreachable goal, So, and somebody over here can't sit down. So I can't wait till he answers this question.
Well, so, that's the thing. So, Coach Sullivan, right now, I know the answer to the question is not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
But have you ever gotten out there in the recent, before, right now you're scooting around?
Yes. Every day we do some kind of shooting drill. Like, that's my thing now, is I wholeheartedly believe that you can shoot the basketball will be good. And I've been there 7 years. I lost once, and then twice. And the two people I lost to are A.J. McGinnis, who's still playing in college right now at Wichita State, and Gary Hicks, who's playing overseas. If you ever watch those two guys shoot the basketball, you understand why. But like it was like literally they beat me on the day. They catch me when like, Coach, you lift weights today? I'm like, yeah, let's shoot. And that's when they want to get you, you know. But
they're smart.
Like,
they're smart.
I was like, that's the good thing about it, like just showing the kids you can do it, and also like I said, having people on staff that can do it. Coach Johnson, he can't do it anymore, but he have guys on the staff that can get it done for him, and that's a big thing about, like I said, once again, having people around you, and also like over all the playing stuff that I'm learning. Coach Cleve's teaching me a lot, man. He is you got to have the mindset of just stop basketball for a second and let's check on life.
Yeah.
Because like I said in high school,
good stuff right
like
there.
in high school,
somebody write that down.
Hey, listen, that took me to this year to learn that.
Yeah, so like in high school,
learned it right now.
You think that kids are like boom boom when they're ready to go. You gotta realize their girlfriend made them mad third block.
That's right.
Like they did, or like they had an argument at the house with their parents, and they went to argument. They think an argument. You telling them, "Hey, wash your clothes and put your clothes up." My mom just got on my case this morning. That drags all day. But then you stop and like, "Hey, listen, man, it's okay. We love you. It's gonna be good."
Yeah.
And then you get more out of that day than you do anything with basketball, and they come in and they play harder for you.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get into that aspect of just getting in the locker room, make sure that we just talk to them a little bit more, and just take a day off and do yoga.
Yeah.
Just shoot free throws and stuff like that. Just recharge. So.
And but listen,
are you leading yoga?
Absolutely. You didn't know that?
No.
Absolutely not. But I will tell you this: I'll put my money against me and Frankie against anybody. We'll outshoot anybody. Ever.
I want to see that battle.
Ever. We have beaten a lot of people. That's the video you saw. Me and Frankie were out shooting my team.
I can play 21 still. Like we play catch, and you got to hit them in the chest and the head for points. I've only been beat once in that all my years in high school. I can still do that.
Yeah.
I can't get on the mound anymore though.
You pick and choose what you can win. Though.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
You know what you do, so you got to do that well.
How many pitches do you think you got?
I swing a fungo better than they do. Huh?
Yeah, but how many pitches do you think you got in your arm right now if I put you on the mound?
Like right now, or like
now.
during the season when I've played catch some.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. I'll give you that.
Yeah, let's go do during season.
During season. How many pitches?
Do I have to get anybody out with those pitches? Just throw a strike. like legitimately, I can walk on the mound right now from the rubber and throw you a strike without even warming up. Probably.
Okay.
Now it may be like nothing on it, but it'll just be. That's what I get frustrated with our guys that don't throw strikes. It's not that hard, and I'll walk out there and grab one and just go.
Oh my god!
So if the Texas Rangers called you tomorrow and said
throw out first pitch or something?
First pitch right now.
I'm money. I am George Bush after 9/11 money. Wow. I'm just. Wow.
I love it.
Now, if I got a long toss or actually get an out, we're in trouble.
Okay.
But that's not. We didn't specify that. So
no. See, he's the one that added amendments.
Right.
I was just asking a general question.
Just being honest.
Yeah. No. Well, coaches, I really appreciate y'all making it over here to walk-ons, and best of luck in the season. I mean, you got your kids entertaining us right now, Coach.
Listen, it's past their bedtime. They are delirious.
They're smoking each other with a what is that?
It's like animal. It's like
they just won it from the little.
There we go.
Okay, and they had bread pudding.
Yeah, listen. Millie didn't like it, but Jet.
What?
You can't put anything in front of Jet that he said he does not like. He is his mother's child.
Well, we appreciate both of y'all coming on and being a part of the Wingmen podcast, and best of luck in this 24-25 season.
Yeah, one more thing.
Go ahead.
So opening night was supposed to be Friday.
Yes.
It's delayed because of the playoff.
Yes.
Yeah. So when is opening night for you, Tay?
Home is Hewitt.
The 15th. The 15th.
At home, but the 12th
That's next Friday.
Yes, next Friday.
We play next Tuesday.
Unless the football team wins and plays
and
next
then we're
Friday.
gonna have to
When the football team.
Right.
Yeah,
when they win,
I
like the way you think.
We'll push it back.
that.
We'll push it back.
So next Tuesday, y'all play who?
Hueytown.
Okay.
Hueytown and Fairfield. I don't know what Maxwell was thinking when she did the schedule this year. Like you go to Hueytown, who's a very good coach team. Then you go to the defending 5A state champions who
listen,
have
I
like
wanted
6
to start
guys
off with a
transfer over
bang,
there.
okay?
So like we can
test you early. How did our off season go? Well, let's find out.
Right.
Why not start with a bang? You know,
So.
you better be ready while you playing.
Why?
Gotta get that voice ready.
He's been doing this for 13 weeks on this podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, he knows.
Friday nights. He knows what he's doing.
You can't replace Johnny.
Way too much
the man
of
with
me.
the golden voice. That's who y'all talking about?
Listen, he knows exactly when to play this music louder than he's supposed to. He knows exactly. Listen,
When
he
they get
knows.
fired up.
He is missing his true wingman though,
Yes, he is.
and we're gonna miss got to shout out JT who kept the crowd going. And
JT
is the only guy ever that had the referee stop the game and tell me to go tell a kid to get out. I was like, what? He was like, he got to leave. I said, so he's the problem? But okay.
Was that a Buckhorn?
That was a Buckhorn game.
There was some pretty nasty stuff said
that's what
started that to him.
That's what I'm saying.
In his defense, he was defending somebody.
Hey, listen, you don't have to defend him. We love him.
That's like when it comes to JT, if JT, he's like Coach Johnson. If JT goes off the limb, you have done something wrong.
Absolutely.
He's loyal.
He is.
He's all in.
He's all in for the Jets, man.
He is.
County line culture.
County line culture. There it is. Culture.
Coach Monica Maxwell, Coach Frankie Sullivan, the varsity boys and girls coaches here at James Clemens, joining us at the Wingmen podcast. Thank y'all. Best of luck to y'all next Tuesday night, and look forward to having y'all again in the future. All right.
Thanks for having us.
We'll take another break, and when we come back, we'll have our landing segment right here. You're listening to the Wingmen on PAS Plus.
Looking for James Clemens scores? Check out the latest results online at jcwingmen.net. The Wingmen will be right back.
If you're looking to make your business stand out, save yourself some time and make Apparel in Madison your first call. Apparel will help you grow your brand with custom t-shirts and hoodies using their unique direct-to-garment printing. Laser engraving can put your design on mugs and tumblers. Plus, they can help with custom-designed hats, stickers, banners, signs, decals, and much more. Apparel Lab. Call 344-4656 or visit them online at apparellab.inc and on Facebook and Instagram. Located in the Madison Mall Shopping Center on Old Madison Pike. Apparel Lab.
We know you want to look good. Chopping Blades Barbershop knows it too, and they're passionate about making their clients look great. Men, women, kids, doesn't matter. You can just walk on in their location at 7985 Highway 72 Suite 2 in Madison or call 256-325-3230. Check out Chopping Blades on Facebook too. Chopping Blades Barbershop.
Whether you're an experienced golfer or a total beginner, Madison Golf Center has the largest, most up-to-date practice range in North Alabama, including a complete teaching center with the best and most experienced instructional staff available at your convenience. Madison Golf Center features the most complete driving range facility around, with a large grass tee area allowing for 100 hitting stations a day with a 14-day rotation. Open every day year-round and located at 401 Lime Quarry Road, between Wall Triana and Hughes Road. Madison Golf Center.
At Walk-On Sports Bistro, our love for the game, community, and heart of a walk-on make you feel like family the moment you walk in. Wings, shrimp, and burgers made from scratch, wall-to-wall TVs, and signature drinks. Founded by two LSU walk-ons, Walk-On Sports Bistro brings the cuisine, the culture, and the community to life. Always fun, never forced, and our doors are open to anyone. Walk-On Sports Bistro, 8368 Highway 72 West in Madison. Walk-On Sports Bistro.
PASnetwork.net. It's now your gateway to the Play Action Sports Network. Whether it's Play Action Sports coverage of school, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County, or Calhoun basketball, James Clemens Sports, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk via PAS Plus. PASnetwork.net. Follow the links to download apps to hear live streams and podcasts, enable Alexa skills, or listen live on your computer. Covering Athens and Limestone County area sports, PASnetwork.net.
You're flying with the Wingmen on PAS Plus.
Welcome back to the Wingmen podcast right here on PAS Plus as we are live at Walk-On Sports Bistro on Highway 72 in Madison. Coming in for the landing, our final segment of the podcast and episode number 13. I'm going to go ahead on record and say this was a really fun segment tonight, or episode tonight.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was really good. Started off with Coach Chad McGehee. Then we brought in Allison Miller, the assistant principal at James Clemens. She was our RedHawk Top Flight Award winner. And then closed it out with the cruising altitude with, final approach with girls basketball coach Monica Maxwell and boys basketball coach Frankie Sullivan. I got to tell you, man, they're a lot of fun.
They're impressive.
They really are.
Look, and it's been fun, and I guess this is going to make me sound like the old head.
Yeah, but that's all right.
I don't view myself as, but to watch really watch the transition of those two over their short. Well, Frankie's been there as long as I have. We came in at the same time.
Yeah.
He was an assistant, then took over. Monica's been there, I guess, 4 years now. This will be her fourth. But just to really watch their transition as head coaches and watch them maneuver through that and who they want to be versus where they started, like it's really been refreshing to watch them grow and really just want to be better.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the thing is one thing I've learned, and I know that there have been some coaches prior to all of you, coming in, but the staff, the athletic staff that James Clemens has, whether it's from baseball, from softball to the basketball, coaching and football, all of the sports that we've talked about.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have built something at James Clemens that is just... It's just impressive.
Yeah.
It really is.
And look, and there's not a ton of blue maps, right? I mean, like, we're building towards it. But you're talking about 13 years. This is the 13th year of the school's existence.
Yes.
Like, and going from where you split off from another school and you got nothing but babies to work with early on, what those guys went through and ladies went through early on.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
No, I can't
like
either.
that transition. And then just to see where we just kept working, bringing people that'll be here with some longevity, because that's always part of it, right?
Yeah.
Getting the right people in place and then hoping those people stay for a while to build traditions, to build the culture, and it's really fun to be on this end of it, I guess, now.
Well, you said it earlier when we were talking to Coach McGehee. I mean, now, as young a school as James Clemens has been, 13 years, now, and over the course of the past couple of years, you've seen these kids are growing up to become Jets.
Yeah, so this senior class was the first group that's had a chance to, not all of them have, but gone kindergarten through senior year and be a Harvest Elementary to Liberty Line to James Clemens Jet, knowing that they were going to be a Jet the whole way through.
Yeah.
That's the first class that started kindergarten, whether they realized it then or not, that had that opportunity like kids in Athens would do, kids in Fort Payne would do.
Right.
Like, we didn't have that here because it was new.
Yeah.
And so to kind of think about that for a minute, it's really, you're at that point where, okay, now it's really about that culture and tradition and standards that we all talk about. And a lot of us have been here long enough to kind of make sure they're being lived out.
Yeah, I completely agree. And as an outsider, kind of looking out from the outside, looking in from the outside and being a part of it the way that I have been, Tim and I both, you see that. And you see that you guys, all of you, are taking care of what needs to be done and teaching these kids the right way to do things and how to approach it. And so that's a good thing. Now, okay, real quick before we close out, I got a question for Stretch.
Okay.
Okay, hit me.
You ready?
Yeah.
So Stretch, it is well documented over 13 weeks that you are an Auburn Tiger fan and you are a Dallas Cowboys fan. All right.
He thought you were going to ask for stats. He immediately
I know, he
pulled
was
his
pulling
phone
it up.
I was so ready, man.
We're not doing stats.
He's like, how quick can I type this in to find the answer?
No, we're not Googling. You're not going to use the Google machine, the Go Ogle. I got to ask you, what are your thoughts? The fact that Dak Prescott is now down for several weeks. I mean, what's and I'm not going to ask you, Johnny.
Thank you.
But Carson, where are you at on that?
So, it's terrible. Obviously, having starting quarterback going down and missing multiple weeks, crucial weeks, especially since we're at a losing record, it's obviously not going to be fun. But as Michael Irvin once said, in Rush, we trust.
I thought you were going to quote Dak from the sideline this weekend.
I saw that. I saw that, dude, man. If you haven't seen the video, just go type in Dak from the sidelines this past Sunday and see if you can lip read correctly, because it doesn't take a lip read expert to see what he said.
I can't say that I disagree.
I tell you. Well, Stretch, if nothing else, there is always Auburn basketball.
Yes, and I'm so looking forward to tomorrow night because we just brought in 2 really good freshmen, 2 really good transfers, still maintained a bunch of last year, including probably 2 of our best 3 players from last year. So maybe even 3 of our best, 4 best from last year, except for Jalen Williams, because he ended up going to the NBA after.
Well, and I think this is one of those years for SEC basketball when especially within the state, when you look at what Alabama and Auburn are putting on the court, it's going to be something to watch.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Both times that Auburn, Alabama play this year, it's going to be fun.
Oh, I completely agree. And I fully expect the home team to win.
Both of those.
I really do.
Especially like last year.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Well, guys, as we wrap up our 13th podcast episode, minus Homebrew, he stayed home tonight. He took a night off. I guess well-deserved. I don't know. Maybe he's just sitting home smelling salts. Who knows what he's doing? No, I know he's doing some stuff and watching the election coverage as we're trying to do that as well and trying to stay on top of that. But, make sure you make your way out to Matt. I think the weather's going to be pretty decent this Friday.
It was supposed to rain, but I think Brad mentioned that it kind of changed.
Kind of backed it off.
It's kind of got pushed out to Saturday now.
Yeah, so I know that there's some disturbance in the Gulf that's making its way that could be an issue for the Alabama-LSU game this weekend. But this Friday night, make your way out to Madison City School Stadium for the first round of the 7A playoffs. It's actually first round of playoffs all across the state. I mean, from 1A all the way up to 7A, and it starts off, this Friday night with Central
not
Phoenix.
staggered like baseball is.
No, it's not. It really isn't. And I like the fact that, and we didn't talk about this tonight, but, we did the first couple of podcasts, talked about the new 7A system and how they got it in pods. Mm-hmm. And that allows you, North Alabama most of the time played, or pretty much all the time.
Always Birmingham.
The Birmingham schools. But we didn't really draw a good area.
And the whole goal in that is to see other people that you don't see, and it's not the year in, year out same matchups. And so we've never played Central Phoenix City.
No, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. I mean, I really am.
And again, defending state champ, whatever.
Yeah.
They're the 3 seed this year, and they're traveling to us.
That's
so we'll
it.
See what
it's
happens.
a 4-hour drive on a charter bus.
Yeah.
And so looking forward to this Friday night at Madison City.
Patrick Nixon, the boys coming to the house.
That's right. Oh, I forgot that's who was coach.
Come on, Auburn people. Where you at, Stretch?
I'm not.
Where you at, Stretch?
I think his son plays NFL football.
Went to high school with my wife.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So there you go. See, all right. So lots happening this Friday night. Madison City School Stadium. Central Phoenix City comes up to take on your James Clemens Jets in the first round of the playoffs. So we're going to wrap it up and call it a night here from Walk On Sports Bistro on Highway 72 in Madison. That's a wrap, folks. It's
almost.
We gotta
my goodness, again.
This is 2 weeks in a row.
I forgot.
The Madison Golf Center, bucket,
That's
and a
why
bite.
we got Tim here.
He's the Oz. Wow. He's the fabulous Oz. You can register your name at jcwingman.net for a bucket and a bite. It's a gift card from Madison Golf Center. Good for a bucket of balls and lunch at the grill. Plus, you get a super cool Wingmen t-shirt from Apparel Lab. And our bucket and bites winner tonight is Eric Beck. Eric Beck, congratulations. You are our Bucket and Bites winner. You get a gift card from Madison Golf Center. It's good for a bucket of balls and lunch at the grill. And you get an Apparel Lab t-shirt, the Wingmen t-shirt from Apparel Lab. And we got gray ones. We got blue ones, right? So that's what we got. I'm still trying to get Tim to do JetBlue next year. Next year. He just see that smart. It's all for me.
Look at his face.
It's all good. All right. Well, we'll have the entire crew this Friday night at Madison City School Stadium. We'll go live at 6:30. You'll hear our voices around 6:45, and then the kickoff starts at 7 o'clock. Central Phoenix City coming to town, first round of the playoffs. That's, hey, I was going to get into
game on.
It is. It's game on. So that's a wrap, folks. Another episode in the books. Remember, confidence is key, and every guy deserves a wingman. You can follow us on our social media accounts as I take a deep breath. You can leave a review. And until next time, for Lone Star, for the absent Homebrew, for Oz and Stretch, I'm your captain. Keep flying high. And as always, thank you for listening to the Wingmen Podcast on PAS+. Go Jets!
Thanks for listening to The Wingmen. Check out the archives online at jcwingmen.net or on your favorite podcast platform. Your hosts have been Kirk Pierce, Coach Johnny Johnson, and Coach Brad Kimbrough. Theme music by Jordan Lambert and Sean Lovell. Join us again next time for The Wingmen. And go Jets!